Good afternoon and welcome to Maximo Bite Size, a podcast on the functionality of Maximo Manage. Today is the fourth episode in the series on service management and the second one discussing various aspects of the service requests application. Today we will discuss ticket statuses and status inheritance. The three classes of tickets have a similar set of statuses. The status of a ticket can be inherited from a follow-up ticket or work order, and from a ticket that is marked as a global issue. Ticket status. The status of service requests, incidents and problems are similar and can be described together. They each have their own synonym domain and so could deviate if you configure these. The synonym domains are SR status, incident status and problem status. For all types of ticket, the natural flow through the statuses is new, queued, pending, in progress, resolved and closed. Two additional statuses for service requests are cancelled and rejected. You can move to cancelled status only from the new status, and you move to rejected status from queued, pending and in progress state. For instance, there is a status WOR waiting on review, which is a synonym of queued. The change status action provides the ability to enter a memo or change the status date. There are 4 additional actions for changing the status to queued, pending, in progress, or resolved. These would be used if there were restrictions in the statuses that users could move to. When you first create a service request, the reported date is set to date time now. Changing the status to in progress for the first time will set an actual start date. Changing the status to resolved for the first time will set an actual finish date. At closed, cancelled or rejected states, the service request is marked as being in history and the record becomes read-only, but it will not be filtered out from the list tab records. The Action Edit History service request allows you to modify history records, and this adds a status history record with a status of Hist Edit. There are similar actions on the incidents and problems applications. When you first set ownership, either by using the action Take Ownership or Select Owner, Maximo will move the status to queued, except when the status is currently at resolved. Therefore, it is good practice to set ownership early in the process of a service request. The View History action shows both a status history and an ownership history. Status inheritance. There are 3 scenarios where the status could be inherited on a ticket. Inherit status from a follow-up ticket, inherit status from a global issue, and inherit status from a follow-up work order. A ticket can have one or more activities, and like there is a roll down of statuses from a parent work order to its children, there is a roll down of the ticket status to child activities. To understand how statuses are inherited, it is worth unhiding the Inherit Status field. This yawn field is set to 1 for service requests, and 0 for incidents and problems. When a follow-up incident from a service request changes status, the service request inherits its status from the incident. Inherit status is equal to 1. It is allowed. When a follow-up problem from an incident changes status, there is no change to the incident status, and inherit status equals 0. When a change occurs to the incident status where the status does not exist on a service request, then the service request should change status to the default status at the same internal level as that for the incident. For example, the incident status WOR waiting on review is a synonym of queued. The WOR status does not exist on the service request, therefore the status will be changed to queued instead. The status inheritance will not jump status levels between ticket statuses. Therefore, if the service request did have a status of WOR, but at in progress status level, it would not change to WR, but would remain at queued. the same status level as WR in the incident status synonym domain. Note the inherit status field is set to 0 if you create a second follow-up incident to the service request, i.e. status inheritance from follow-up tickets stops. The second scenario is when there is a global issue. When there are multiple similar tickets that reference the same issue, then you can mark one of the tickets as a global issue. The other tickets that are related to the global issue, with the relationship type of related to global, will inherit their status from the ticket marked as the global issue. Declaring a ticket as a global issue makes more sense on an incident or problem record, but you can also do this on a service request. The idea behind a global issue is that when there are multiple similar tickets that are referencing the same issue, then by declaring that issue as a global issue, you only then need to manage the ticket that is marked as a global issue, and not the tickets related to the global issue. The third scenario is when a ticket inherits its status from a follow-up work order. When the work order has a change of status to comp or one of its synonyms, Maximo will move the originating ticket to resolved. For a work order state of close, the originating ticket is changed to closed. There is a system property mxe.app.workorder.donotchange ticket to in progress, which if set to 0 will also change status of the ticket to in progress when the work order status is changed to imprg in progress. If there are multiple follow-on work orders from the same ticket, then when the first one changes status, it will change the status on the originating ticket. If the originating ticket is a global issue, then the status change will be rolled down to the tickets that are related to the global issue. Therefore, completing a work order that was raised to rectify a global issue will move a global issue to resolved and will also resolve all tickets related to the global issue. If a ticket has one or more activities, then a change of status on the ticket to resolved or closed will change the activities to comp or close respectively. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I look forward to seeing you back on the next episode, when we will spend time on ticket ownership and time tracking. The music is called Duck in the Alley from the talented group called Track Tribe. Please check them out on tracktribe.com, all one word. Until another time, goodbye.